The X-Men universe is a graveyard of wasted potential. Some mutants are destined for greatness, while others are deliberately erased from our collective memory. Kicking off our list is Angelo Espinosa, better known as Skin. This Generation X graduate possesses 6 extra feet of malleable skin, which he can stretch, grab objects with, or even use as a weapon. He can even use his skin as a glider to travel short distances. Now, Skin's extra skin might seem a bit creepy at first, but trust me, he's a good guy. He's also got a pretty unique look, with grayish skin that made him feel like an outsider, even among other mutants. Sadly, Skin's time with the X-Men was cut short due to his tragic death. Speaking of tragic, did you know that Skin's teammate, Enole, was almost written to commit suicide after coming out as gay? Thankfully, that storyline was scrapped, but it just goes to show the kind of intense situations these young X-Men had to deal with. And here's another interesting fact. Skin's powers are somewhat similar to Husk's, who can shed her skin to form a new layer of any material she understands. Imagine the possibilities if these two teamed up. Sadly, Skin's death makes that unlikely, but it's fun to think about. Despite his limited powers and unusual appearance, Skin was a loyal teammate and a close friend to other young mutants like Jubilee. He deserves to be remembered for his dedication and unique abilities. Next up is John Proudstar, the original Thunderbird. As one of the first new recruits to the X-Men, Thunderbird brought a unique perspective and intense personality to the team. With superhuman strength, agility, and enhanced durability, he was a force to be reckoned with. Sadly, Thunderbird met an untimely end during a mission, sacrificing himself to save his teammates. His heroic death left a lasting impact on the X-Men and readers, and he deserves to be remembered as a true hero. But here's the thing. There's another Thunderbird, Neil Shara, who has the power to turn into living plasma. He's often confused with John, which is a shame because Neil is a cool character in his own right. Maybe we'll do a video about him someday. Yara dos Santos, more commonly recognized as Shark Girl, secures the 8th spot, a testament to her unique and formidable abilities. Hailing from Brazil, Yara's mutant power allows her to undergo a striking transformation into a human-shark hybrid, a metamorphosis that grants her a suite of impressive physical enhancements. This hybrid form equips her with extraordinary strength, rendering her capable of overpowering many adversaries, and a remarkable durability that allows her to withstand significant damage. Perhaps most notably, she possesses exceptional underwater speed and agility, making her a force to be reckoned with in aquatic environments. Despite not yet achieving widespread recognition within the X-Men universe, Shark Girl's distinctive power set, combined with her fierce and determined personality, solidifies her as a truly memorable character. Her potential for growth and development within the X-Men storylines is immense, and she undoubtedly deserves greater exposure and appreciation for the unique contribution she brings to the team. Marrow, once a denizen of the Morlock tunnels beneath New York City, stands as a figure of stark contrast and undeniable power. Her mutant ability to manipulate her skeletal structure, manifesting as razor-sharp bone claws and projectiles, is both visually striking and brutally effective. This potent ability, however, is inextricably linked to her disfigured appearance, a constant reminder of her traumatic past and the hardships endured by the Morlocks. This history, coupled with a fiercely independent and often rebellious attitude, made her a contentious, though undeniably powerful addition to the X-Men. While she proved her worth on numerous critical missions, her integration into the team was perpetually strained. Her violent tendencies, honed in the harsh environment of the Morlock community, often clashed with the X-Men's more idealistic approach. Furthermore, her deeply ingrained emotional scars hindered her ability to forge meaningful connections with her teammates, leaving her perpetually on the fringes. This isolation, born from both her appearance and her temperament, ultimately prevented her from fully embracing the camaraderie and support that the X-Men offered, making her a tragic figure whose potential was often overshadowed by her internal struggles. Armor, whose given name is Hisako Ichiki, stands as a testament to the often overlooked potential of defensive mutant abilities. Her power, the creation of a formidable psionic exoskeleton, allows her to withstand devastating attacks, acting as an impenetrable barrier against physical and energy-based threats. This power, while undeniably potent, possesses inherent limitations, highlighting the strategic considerations necessary for its effective deployment. It raises intriguing questions about the interplay between defensive and offensive capabilities within the X-Men's diverse roster. The hypothetical pairing of Armor with Marrow, as suggested, presents a fascinating tactical possibility. The fusion of Armor's psionic shielding with Marrow's bone manipulation could potentially generate a truly formidable, almost impenetrable defense. Imagine a layered defense, with Marrow's bone structures acting as a first line of physical resistance, bolstered and reinforced by armor's psionic field, creating a near unstoppable barrier. Such a synergistic combination could redefine the X-Men's defensive strategies, offering a unique and powerful approach to protecting themselves and others from even the most overwhelming threats. This concept underscores the untapped potential within the X-Men's less prominent members and the strategic depth that could be explored through their combined powers. At number 6, we have Davis Cameron, also known as Slipstream. This Australian mutant can create teleportation portals, allowing him to travel instantly with his allies. While his time with the X-Men was brief, Slipstream's unique power and laid-back personality make him a character with untapped potential. He deserves another chance to shine in the X-Men universe. You know, Slipstream's powers remind me of Multiple Man, who can create duplicates of himself. Multiple Man recently increased his dupe limit, so imagine if he and Slipstream worked together. They could infiltrate any location with ease. Dr. Cecilia Reyes, a highly competent trauma surgeon, occupies a unique space within the X-Men universe, often relegated to the background despite her valuable contributions. Her mutant ability, the generation of personal force fields, provides a significant defensive capability, yet Dr. Reyes consistently prioritizes her medical expertise above all else. This dedication to healing, rather than combat, sets her apart from many of her more overtly aggressive teammates. Her perspective, grounded in the realities of trauma and the fragility of life, offers a vital counterbalance to the often violent conflicts the X-Men face. Dr. Reyes' commitment to saving lives, both through her surgical skills and her mutant abilities, underscores her inherent heroism. She serves as a powerful reminder that heroism is not solely defined by displays of physical power, but also by compassion, dedication, and the unwavering commitment to the preservation of life. Her willingness to use her abilities to protect and heal rather than to inflict harm is a testament to her character and a compelling reason why she deserves greater recognition for her contributions to the X-Men. Her presence highlights the importance of diverse skill sets and perspectives within the team, demonstrating that even those who prefer to avoid conflict can play a crucial role in safeguarding mutant kind and humanity alike. Coming in at number 4 is Japheth, better known as Maggot. This South African mutant has one of the most unusual powers in the X-Men universe. Two slug-like creatures named Eenie and Meanie that act as his external digestive system. These slugs crawl out of his stomach and eat any kind of matter, converting it into energy that gives Maggot super strength and a healing factor. While his powers might seem strange, Maggot is a loyal and courageous X-Man who deserves more appreciation for his unique abilities and his dedication to the team. Taking the third spot is the tragically forgotten Forget-Me-Not. This mutant's power is that everyone immediately forgets he exists after meeting him. This makes it incredibly difficult for him to form connections and be remembered, even by his fellow X-Men. To make matters worse, Forget-Me-Not was killed and subsequently forgotten by both the X-Men and readers alike. Talk about adding insult to injury. Forget-Me-Not's unique power and his struggle to be recognized make him a truly compelling character who deserves more love from both writers and fans. At number 2, we have Soraya Qadir, also known as Dust. This young Afghani Muslim mutant can transform into a cloud of swirling sand, granting her incredible offensive and defensive capabilities. Dust has been a background character for far too long, and she deserves more opportunities to showcase her powers and her unique perspective as a Muslim superhero. And finally, our top pick for the most forgotten X-Men hero who deserves more love is Jonathan Starsmore, also known as Chamber. This British mutant possesses psionic energy that manifests as a destructive force, replacing his lower jaw and upper chest. Chamber's mutant ability severely damaged his body, leaving him with a unique appearance and a constant struggle to control his powers. This, combined with his difficulty forming relationships, makes for a truly tragic backstory. He deserves more exploration and development in the X-Men universe. If you're hungry for more deep dives into the Marvel universe, don't forget to click the video on your screen right now. We're uncovering all the Daredevil Easter eggs you might have missed in episodes 1 and 2, so you won't want to miss that.
It's hard to have a weird backstory in the Marvel universe. Everyone seems to have one, and yet somehow Eva managed to have the weirdest I've heard. EVA, or Eva, was grown in the body of a man. She was his nervous system in physical form. The man in question here is Phantom X, which we will get to in a second. While in her early stages, she was just a little bug-looking thing, almost like a little ship. She could fly and use electricity as a weapon. Eva now, as you may or frankly may not recognize her, has taken on a more human form. That happened when her host, Phantom X, died the first time. She mutated into the form of a human woman with silvery skin. Since Phantom X was her host at first, she always maintained a connection to him and was actually his lover. Eva's powers include electric charges, flight, she can change her size and body type, she can create powerful illusions. Additionally powerful, with Phantom X's help, she can regenerate pieces of her body should she lose them, and she is capable of being a weapon as herself. Phantom X is able to throw pieces of her that act like stun darts. Eva has about 70 appearances in total, with her last one around 2019. Now moving on to her host, Phantom X. I will admit he's been around more, around 150 appearances, which might sound like a lot, but the main X-Men in comparison have appearance counts in the thousands, so 150 is nothing. You're probably wondering how a man could grow Eva in him, manifest his nervous system into a girlfriend. Well, he was created not exactly 100% human, more like a human cyborg. He was part of the Weapon Plus project, and he actually goes by many names: Mutant Man of Mystery, Charlie Cluster 7, and Le Phantom X. See, Phantom X likes to use a French accent, a bad one, allegedly, because he knows it annoys people. There might also be additional reasons for it if you choose to believe him. According to Phantom X, he grew up in a virtual France and it wasn't perfect, so that's why he loves the French but is not a perfect Frenchman. Phantom X's powers include Eva, a healing factor, super intelligence, super strength, he is scent free, so very hard to track, and literally believes he is the best. He can't see anything as better than him or he will have a mental breakdown, I am not kidding. This extreme X-Men is catching waves but not a break. Slipstream, or Davis Cameron, was just your average Australian guy surfing, vibing, live, laugh, loving, but soon he would not be doing any of those things except living. He is alive, a win is a win. Slipstream, because he is a surfer, used a hoverboard as his means of transportation. His mutant ability was the ability to form quantum portals, also known as warp wave. The portals were used for transport over large or small or just any distance on Earth, and they could be used by anyone. Slipstream went a while not knowing he was a mutant. It wasn't until the X-Men showed up and told him and his sister Heather that the two were the children of a crime lord, and then Heather later revealed she was a mutant, so of course Slipstream had to get his powers activated by Sage. He helped the X-Men fight against alien invaders but was hurt pretty bad. When he left the hospital, he disappeared for a while but then showed up to fight off some people attacking Krakoa, so eventually he ended up there. Honestly, some of these mutants haven't exactly disappeared, they just don't get storylines after theirs is over, and they're usually only remembered by Marvel when they need extra mutants to fill out a scene, you know? Like, oh, Slipstream was in this battle, cool, great, but like, how is he doing? Mentally, how is he? Anyway, Slipstream has about 19 appearances total. Sister to Slipstream and Golden Girl, literally, Heather Cameron is Lifeguard. The golden Australian princess, she is all of those things, we'll get to the golden princess in a second, found out she was a mutant before her brother did. She, with Storm and Thunderbird, defeated some attackers, and that's when she discovered the mutant powers. And it's a really useful one too. She can clock what the present danger is to her or those around her, and her body will modify itself automatically to give her the right powers to save the day. So her power is like really fast adaptation. Some powers she has gained while confronted with danger include golden skin, told you we'd get there, extra arms, gills, wings, a fishtail to live her H2O, just add water dreams, and extra strength. So we've acknowledged the golden skin part, let's cover the princess thing. Lifeguard was on a mission to infiltrate a spaceship that belonged to an alien race. While doing that, Heather's appearance changed to the appearance of the alien race, and her DNA switched around, and people think she may have been of royal alien descent based on the markings on her. Her brother couldn't handle the alien look, unfortunately, that his sister was sporting, and he disappeared, so she was looking for him for a long time. Eventually, both siblings ended up on Krakoa. Lifeguard's name comes not only from her lifeguarding mutant powers, but also from the fact that she was a lifeguard back when she didn't know she was a mutant. In total, she also has about 19 appearances. Ariel the alien is an icon and a fashion icon, bring her back. Her original design was this epic 80s fit, just lots of colors, and even in her redesign she's still full of color. She hails from this place called Coconut Grove, and it looks like your average nightclub. All the aliens there are capable of teleportation using doors. If there are no doors, too bad. Ariel is special and different though. She is a mutant in her world. She has the additional power, a power passed down through her family, of super persuasion. She is described as she who speaks like water running across the stones. Ariel can make people do or think drink almost anything she wants using her charming, persuasive voice. Ariel ended up in San Francisco at one point and then joined the X-Men and stayed affiliated with the team since. In total, Ariel has about 18 appearances. I feel like Coconut Grove is a vibe and sounds like a Mario Kart track, but if I could, I would transport myself there. Let me know in the comments where you would choose to transport yourself. Changeling is a forgotten man despite his major contributions to the Marvel Universe. The biggest thing he did for Marvel was die as Professor X, so even his big moments weren't fully him. Changeling is a shapeshifter. He has become many people, but two really stick out. One was Elvis in the middle of a car chase, and the other was Professor X. Changeling wasn't always an upstanding citizen. He was a bit of a menace at first, but a cancer diagnosis and a few months left to live changed the Changeling's whole perspective. He now wanted to do better in his last few months, so he went to Professor X. Professor X gave him quite the chance. Pretend to be him while he goes underground to prepare for an alien invasion. This worked for a while, and it had its perks for Changeling too. Before becoming the Professor, Changeling had telepathic abilities, but they were limited. When he did become the Professor, he needed more power in that department in order to fool everyone, so Professor X gave him a major power boost. As Professor X, Changeling passed during a battle with Grotesque. He was brought back to life for a brief stint for a She-Hulk storyline, that's when the Elvis thing happened, but in the end died again. Another version of this character does exist out there, and he does kind of eclipse this version. He was revamped, he got powers and better storylines, and a new name, Morph. But at his core, he is a shapeshifter, and the OG version had about 17 appearances total. Most duos that we've seen on this list are equally as known as the other. Not here though. You might have heard of the X-Men Sunfire. Well, he has a sister, also an X-Men. She's named Sunpyre, and she has way less panel time with only about 7 appearances in comparison to her brother's 247. A reason for this could be that Sunpyre didn't know she had mutant abilities for a long time. We actually didn't see her discover them, but we do know it took a while for them to appear. Her powers, shockingly, have to do with the sun. She can absorb solar radiation and coat her body in fire. She can generate powerful blasts of energy known as plasma blasts. She can fly, she can create a very hot force field around herself that can melt incoming bullets, and she can sense heat signatures. She was part of the X-Men team for a brief moment, helping them retrieve Professor X from Magneto, but after that mission, she was done, she was gone. A very cool character that has a suspiciously low appearance count. I guess for Marvel, she's too hot to handle. Time-controlling mutants are common, but each one still deserves the time of day, including Sway. So Sway controls time, but you probably got that from my first sentence. Her time-controlling capabilities are for stopping time and making time replay. So it's not like going back in time, but instead she can go back to a spot and see like a phantom of what happened there, replay the events. What's cool about that is that other people can see the phantom images too. Her stopping time originally meant that everything stopped, but with training, she was able to stop select objects and everything else would be fine. Sway was originally Suzanne Chan, and her backstory is tragic. When is an X-Men backstory not, right? Her mutant ability manifested while out with her parents. Her family was caught in the crossfire of some bad people. Sway unconsciously stopped the bullet aimed at her, but because she didn't know she could do that, she couldn't save her parents. She was in and out of places that could not help her, but then found the X-Men. Well, the X-Men found her, kind of. Professor X needed to save the X-Men from Krakoa because it's not a safe space for mutants at that moment. He took her and 3 others and created a little team to get the original X-Men back. The island is where Sway met her demise, and now she's only appeared in minor appearances and is generally not the first mutant people think of when you ask, with only about 5 appearances in total. Sway, of course, made some friends while on that little X-Men team, and one was Petra, meaning rock in Greek. Petra handled all things Earth, so geokinesis. She rocks, literally. She can manipulate rock into different shapes, even Sword's Minecraft queen in real life. She can also cause earthquakes and create holes in the earth, not like the center of the earth kinda deep, always. Sometimes it's just a little one is enough to incapacitate someone. She can also change the state of a piece of earth, like creating diamonds from coal or making glass from sand. Again, she is a Minecraft character in real life. Dust clouds, telekinetically flying on rocks, and consistency manipulation are also in her power set. The consistency consistency thing is making the earth like wiggly or soft or smooth or all the opposite of those. Like Sway, Petra has a traumatic backstory. She accidentally caused her entire family to experience the fatal effects of a rock slide, and then she became an orphan and was placed in a foster home. Her foster father acted inappropriately towards her, but she trapped him in the ground, good for her. She went on the run, hiding in caves, a run-in with the police, and some training with Moira McTaggart later, and our girl was on the reserve X-Men team with Sway. She also met her end on the mutant island. Like Sway, Petra is also not at the forefront of most fans' mind with only 5-ish appearances, but that doesn't mean she didn't rock. I've heard this guy described as paste for plot holes. Apparently, he's been around since the beginning, helping out with major X-Men missions, but his horrible mutant ability means literally no one knows because they all forgot. We all forgot Forget-Me-Not. Forget-Me-Not literally is a mutant with the power of being forgotten. Even machines forget he's there. He was trapped once by a machine, but then it forgot he was there and he was able to escape. Though he is forgotten, he still exists. Obviously, if he drinks some orange juice, people can see the orange juice is gone, they just won't remember who did it. After missions with him, the other X-Men would be left with gaps in their memory. Eventually, Psylocke was able to put a part of the puzzle together. What's really tragic about Forget-Me-Not is he literally sacrificed himself to save Krakoa from Nimrod, and no one remembers. In total, Forget-Me-Not has about 14 appearances, and I just totally forgot who we were talking about. I'm kidding. Forget-Me-Not, I will not forget you.